Good morning, everyone. I'm here with Phil and Lizette from the True Heroes racing team, and today we're going to just have a little discussion with them, find out a bit more about what they do and what they do within the business. So obviously we've had a little bit of a chat before we started recording. So let's start with you, Lizette. How long have you been doing nothing for?
So I joined the team with my husband in 2019. He is one of the beneficiaries. He's ex-household cavalry, has a neurological condition, so he benefits from the activities that we do. I started off by saying, you're going to need to let me come along because he can't come on his own. And then somehow I got dragged into everything else. No, I'm joking. And I'm now the operations manager and help Phil run the team.
Excellent. So Phil, how long has it been that you haven't been getting on with Lizette?
So since, as she said, 2019, but I had a few years before that. So I started True Heroes Racing back in 2012. As a serviceman, I came back from tours of duty in Afghanistan and wanted to help those less fortunate. Started raising money for military charities, then started doing hospitality days at the British Superbikes for the lads and lasses that were going through rehab at Headley Court at the time. And then one day just said, why are we standing on the sidelines? Why are we not actively engaged in the sport of motorcycle racing and using it as a peer group therapy organisation? And that was the concept for True Heroes Racing.
Yeah, no, it is excellent. To be honest with you, I haven't really come across you guys until we started talking, and then I started looking. And you sent me the video, and I ended up with a few wet spots around the eyes. And I think the main thing with that is obviously, for me, is mental health, pain, suffering. As you can see, the goosebumps is something that's really, really close to me. Something I have a bit of experience with, and I always feel much like yourself that this gentleman is admiring the bike now. Thank you very much. So much like yourselves, and I'll just keep this going in the video as well. Everyone can see what we're doing with today.
It's a live show.
Yeah, that's a live show. We have to keep going.
Yep.
So obviously I have a lot of experience with it. 10 years of challenges, and I think I can understand where you're coming from in terms of wanting to give back, wanting to help others. I think I'm not sure if it's the same for you guys, but for me, it's simply it does feel quite a lot like I get more from helping than I would otherwise benefit from anything else.
People quite often say to me that I need this organisation as much as the guys that are involved and benefit from being involved in it. And I never really look at myself in that space, but there's an element of truth to that.
So would you say you are the true hero?
No, not at all. None of these guys call themselves heroes. It's they just, as the video says, they just get up every day and do what they have to do to get on.
So I would disagree with you, and a very simple reason is that I think that anyone who reaches out and does for others without thinking for themselves is a hero, whether or not that be the service personnel or people helping them to recover, which is something I can only say thank you for, and it's great work. So let's go back to the lighter side of things. So tell me, when you guys are out there trying to raise funds, which is obviously what we're trying to do today, is we're trying to highlight a few things.
Yep.
What is the funniest moments you've experienced doing that?
Oh my God. Wow, that's a question and a half.
Can I just say Phil doesn't count?
Pardon?
Phil doesn't count, because that'll be funny all the time.
I have no idea. Genuinely cannot think.
I've had a couple of bloopers over the years. Sponsors turning up, haven't seen for a year, and not actually recognising them. They're talking to me, I'm like, yeah. Who the hell was that? And they're actual sponsors of the team. So, but that in itself sort of tells a bit of a story, because a lot of our sponsors want to help us because of what we stand for, but they're not really interested in getting anything back. So where we offer, and Lizette's always chasing them, do you want to come to the racing, see the guys up hand? No, we're happy, And then when they do turn up, you don't recognise them because they haven't been for so long.
Look, I can speak from my very limited experience that what you guys are doing really, really helps. And I had a chat with your rider when we came to the stand, and the one thing that struck me immediately when he started talking was the emotion, the strength of feeling, and the benefit that he was receiving from having a purpose. I think that's probably the main thing. I think you know, from our perspective is that I always found that when you have a challenge, you tend to obsess about it. And so the thing that I found is that if you find something else to obsess about, you end up breaking the grip that the struggle has on you. And the longer you continue that, the easier it becomes for you to release that grip.
Well, motorcycling's kind of known in the industry as a bit of an escapism, isn't it?
Yes.
And that's what a lot of these guys and girls see it as. You know, they shut their visor, they go out on the grid, and for 20 minutes they forget about all their problems. They're just focused on what they're doing, and then they just shut everything else out of their heads, and it just gives them.
Doesn't it, outside of just the riders, because there's such a small amount of riders. You know, next year we'll have 6. You think the rest of the team is made up of everything from people helping on the shop, in the kitchen, to the hospitality, to the mechanics, to cleaning up everything. You know, the team is literally everything that we do in-house. So I think it's important for people to recognise that, yes, you know, when they shut their visor, that absolutely they shut it away. But actually, when they turn up to a racetrack, they shut their life away. And you see it happen. You know, you see the guys come in and they'll have had a terrible week or they're really struggling. And within an hour or so of having the rip taken out of them by one of the other lads or girls, they're completely different. They've relaxed. My husband, I see it all the time. You know, we get to a Wednesday and all of a sudden he's bright. He's happy, he's focused, he's got something to aim for, and it gives him a purpose. Before that, he's a nightmare and he's quite depressed. So you literally can see the change as soon as they get with that bunch of people, because they just become a family again.
I can absolutely recognise that. It's exactly what happens to me. Is I tend to get on the bike, start riding, promise I'm going to ride in a certain way, ignore that 30 yards later, and you know, it's a gradual progression of, you know, the release and starting to feel good about what you're doing and feeling like a human being again, which is you know, it's a remarkable feeling, and it's funny just to feel that wave coming over you.
But it's also respite for their family. So a lot of these guys and girls have got some real challenges. So to come away with us for 3 or 4 days, their family get 3 or 4 days to reset and, you know, work through whatever it is they have to do, knowing that the individual will come back on a high, and that smooths the curve of depression out a lot well. So, you know, it's as much respite for those directly involved as it is their family unit that they leave behind for a few days.
And where we're finding that sort of, you know, that you've got the race season from April until October, we're really seeing that from October there's sort of like a lull. So what we're trying to do is, like Motorcycle Live, we're having a Christmas party, we're trying to add bits to the calendar to give people more to look forward to, and that's where the organisation has got to expand. We've got to get a base of operations. We want to be able to allow the guys to come in between the race weekends and in the off season and work on those bikes and learn more skills, which also means we'll be able to help more people. So, you know, the operation has got to take bigger steps forward, but we can't do that unless we get some support from more sponsors and donations.
So before we get down to business, I want to raise an official complaint.
Okay.
So I understand that you guys don't have a bagger racing league.
Oh, what's that?
I don't know, some other riders have had a good go at banger racing on these bikes.
Yeah, that may be a banger, but not a bagger. So that is my official complaint, because that would be me.
Right.
So if somebody wanted to get involved, either to support through their time or being able to make a donation, how would they be able to do that?
So there's lots of ways. I'll jump in there.
Yeah. Just don't, is this a fight? Should we zoom in? Should we zoom? Okay. Operations. Okay, here we go. We'll just get a bit closer so we're very clear on this.
So there's lots of ways that you can get involved. There is a giving link on our website. You can contact us, make donations, and it's not just financial. You know, a lot of what we have is based on product sponsorships, and that's just as important. You know, if you look at the tyres, if you look at the fairings, if you look at the exhaust, all the stuff that goes right over my head because I'm not mechanical or technical. Even down to, you know, Laguna and Ducati supported us with some tablecloths last year for our hospitality area. There's everything you can think of that we need. Anything can be sponsored or anything can be offered. So yes, financial donations are massively appreciated, but I would implore anyone to sort of reach out and go, actually, I know you have a hospitality area where you accommodate your guests, I can give you this, or cleaning products, or whatever it may be. There's lots of things that we need.
Now, do you concur?
Yeah, as Lizette said, we have a budget, and that is probably 25% made up of free products. If we don't have to buy the products because the company's able to provide them to us free of charge, that gives the money we have a bigger spread. But yeah, as Lizette said, there's many ways you can make contact with us. Website, social media, we've got every channel under the sun, and most of them have got messaging options. There's contact pages on the website, loads of different ways to make contact with us.
Yeah, no, that's excellent. I wanted to give both of them a chance because, I didn't want to come back and then Phil's got a... because he... because he didn't do the right thing. So there we have it. I would like to, however, be the first one to offer some support on this occasion, and I'd like to start helping you guys with some of T-shirts and stuff. So if you needed any things like that, I'd be more than happy to assist. I have my own business where I manufacture myself, so I can do that for you. So I'm happy to get involved and give you some shirts, whatever that may be.
Merchandise is really important to get some message out to the wider population.
Yeah. So there you have it, folks. True Heroes Racing. A couple of good people. They may not like each other a lot, but I think they over the past 5 years they've managed to wing it and get through it. So I don't see any broken limbs at the moment. So it's probably a good time at the moment. So thank you for watching, and see you soon.